Hello, my friends of the world. I always get so amped up when my clients do really well. You might have seen Adam Torres before, Mr. Extraordinaire. This is actually his third testimonial for my GPS program. For those of you who don't know, the GPS program is the Gifted Professional Speaker program, where I teach you how to become a professional speaker, travel the world, inspire millions, and how do you become an online coach. So Adam has been part of my program for some time now. And every time I talk to the guy, he's like, Chris, I got another paid speech. Chris, I'm going to China. Chris, I'm on my, your sixth speech now, I think?
Yeah, I would say at least.
Crazy. So first, just share with the audience, Adam, who you are and you know your company so that they know context of who you are.
Absolutely. So I am a financial advisor located here in Century City and Beverly Hills. That's my primary market. In working with Chris, I've learned to, let's say, brand and be and reach to be more. So after working with Chris and through this process, I've done things such as writing a book. So Money Matters, 21 Practical Lessons for Everyday Success. And I have marketed myself successfully as a speaker, due in large part to you, your coaching, your mentoring, and also your program.
That's amazing. He literally just heard back again. He's speaking again, another 5-digit keynote speech. And just imagine that, getting paid $5,000, $10,000 for a speech, getting flown out there. It's an exciting world. And I want to remind everyone that I started speaking professionally 16 years ago, and I get paid $50, 50, at an all-black Pentecostal church. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So I just wanted to commend, applaud, and just say to all of you, Adam just started probably about a year ago, speaking-wise?
No, yeah. And recapping and looking back, so we're just recapping. We didn't talk that much about, when I went to China. And he's like, how'd they fly you out there? And I'm like, it was in one of those little pods like you see in the magazines. It was one of those business class or first class pods where you're laying down on your way to China. I've flown internationally quite a few times as just a tourist, and I can tell you that it feels much better to fly over there while getting paid.
Yeah, I shared that with my guests on the webinar where you have 3 different revenue streams. One is as a keynote speaker. Another one is your book where he's sending it out to a new friend of his.
Mailing this one out, so
and then
no cover.
The travel expense where, that ticket price might have cost $5,000, $10,000. But just think about the people that you meet on a first class or business class. And it really is a massive different world. But I want to always highlight people because people might say, well, Chris, you can do it, but can other people do it? And Adam, this is literally his third testimonial because we constantly have clients, these what I call gifters, doing more and more and more. And so whenever I get these success stories, I'm like, man, Adam, do you mind sharing with our guests? And he has a successful company too where he helps people with his finance. And can you just share a little bit about the Century City Wealth Management?
Absolutely. So Century City Wealth Management, so full service firm for investments and insurance. And that being said, I was telling Chris, as a financial advisor prior to working with him and in the program, I've given hundreds of speeches, literally completely free. That's just part of the business model that I was taught. I never really thought, hey, you can actually get paid for doing that too. So this has completely changed the game in the way I market myself, not only in my business, but, and I think about it from the business standpoint for Century City Wealth Management. As a paid speaker, I don't know if this is always true, but in my experience, the audiences are much bigger. It seems to me like when I was marketing my own events and paying for them and doing all these other things, you might have, 20 people in the room. If you're as a hired speaker, for example, when I just went to my alma mater, so Michigan State University, and I did a keynote there, which was an honor, number one, but number two, there had to be at least 200-300 people in the room. I couldn't have organized an event like that myself, nor would I have wanted to, the type of cost that was incurred, but instead, that was if we're just talking business, that was a net positive for me the moment I signed the contract.
And I want to stress, because Adam asked me a few months ago, where do I find speaking opportunities? I'm like, find the opportunities where they want you. Going back to your high school, your college, your church, just keep it simple. In Adam's case, he reached out to his alma mater, he spoke there, got paid. And then he got other referrals from there. But the point is, don't overthink things. So many people I meet, they overthink things. They think, I don't know if I should ask. I'm like, look, they're spending more money on that bagel, on the utensil, on the napkins at an event than you as a speaker. So keep that in mind, okay? If you're going to go speak at an event, You ask because you're a professional, and if you have value in yourself and your story, which all of you do, make sure you ask what you deserve. And in Adam's case, I'm really proud of him. He's constantly just showing me all these amazing things that he's doing. So for all you other gifters out there, thanks so much for watching. Shalia, Dylan, Bilal, Chris Ann, Ronald, Eric. Thank you all. Eric and Shalia are both gifters. Thank you again.
And this doesn't, one quick note, this doesn't, so I'm not, my day-to-day, I'm 100% focused on my business. So I manage money, I do financial planning, I do insurance. This doesn't have to be complicated speaking. So once you have the right mentorship, the right system, some of these speeches I've organized, not big technology. I mean, Chris doesn't agree with me on this, so I understand because he's focused a lot more on it, so on the speaking side. But some of these contracts and things were negotiated over Facebook Messenger, just throwing it out there. To get it to the final stages. So it's just put yourself out there and do it, really.
Yeah. Again, just keep things simple. You want to speak more, ask for them. To get paid, that requires a little more strategy, but that's why I created my GPS program. I started speaking professionally 16 years ago, giving over 1,000 presentations to a global audience from 30 countries. I spoke at American Express, Google, New York Life. I was at a U.S. consulate event in Jerusalem last year. But the point is, in Adam's case, he did it. You can do it. Hopefully all do well. And again, Adam, thanks so much for taking your time.
Absolutely.
And all of you out there, just keep doing what you're doing, but take the steps forward and find the strategy and find the people, the mentorships to get to where you want to go. Bye, everyone.